Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Connect Show. I am one of your hosts today. My name is Kim, and today we're diving into the extraordinary world of small business owners. They are the unsung heroes of our economy, and I can't wait to share their incredible stories with you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily, and I'm a mom, an entrepreneur, a small business owner, so many other things, but we don't have time to explain right now. But let's think about the last time you strolled through your neighborhood, wherever it is, Kenosha, Tosa, wherever, Milwaukee, Waukesha, enjoying the quaint cafes, the charming boutiques, and the unique stores behind every one of those storefronts as a small business owner, pouring their heart and soul into their dream. Ben, everyone, who you are, dude.
Hey everyone, Ben Palmer, and by day I work in logistics with Direct Drive Logistics, helping mainly Wisconsin manufacturing companies move their product in and out and around Wisconsin and the country. And then for the last 11 years, I've had a small business, Think Local, which is all about getting to know the local businesses and the people behind them, their backstories, why they work so hard, and just excited to be here and meet some of the great entrepreneurs that we're going to meet today.
Amazing. On today's show and every show, we interview small business owners. These remarkable individuals are more than entrepreneurs. They're risk takers, dreamers, and community builders. They wake up before dawn, brew the coffee, roll up their sleeves, and set out to make a difference.
Their stories are inspiring beyond measure, from humble beginnings in their garages, living rooms, to building thriving enterprises. Small business owners are true champions of resilience.
Before we move on to today's show, we want to give a little background about the show. The Connect Show with Jon and Tracy was dreamt up in the summer of 2021 when Jon reached out to Tracy and said, I have an idea for a show. And that's how many shows can start. So especially with Jon's help, which is exciting. So after some collaboration of the first show aired that September, fast forward to today, and we have many great people who really bring the show to life, and we can't thank them enough.
The guests and the hosts on the show are all volunteers. If you would like to be a guest or a guest host on the show, the process is simple and we'll teach you all the steps. The benefits include practicing getting in front of the camera, practicing interviewing skills, and best of all, getting the word out about your business. Please contact Tracy to get your spot on the show.
While the Connect Show is created by volunteers, we are looking, like me and us and everyone else here, we are looking for your support to keep the show growing and getting better and better and better. Sponsorship on the Connect Show is a great way to get your business seen and support your peers. It can be commercial, plugins in our newsletters, via social media, and on our website. If you are interested in being a sponsor, please contact Jon or Tracy at info@theconnectshow.com.
And thank you to our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace, from where we broadcast the Connect Show right here. Expansive is a wonderful place to work and a great community to be a part of. Additional regular sponsors include MKE Video, Small Business MKE, Opportunity Knacking, Friday Fish Fry Guide, Stupid Good Food, Think Local, Mind Body Abundance, Idea Share Coaching, and many more.
That just makes me laugh. We really need to give special thanks to our buddy Jon, MKE Video, who creates the show with all the video work and the editing that goes on behind the scenes. Jon also has a new community called Mind Body Abundance that you can see more about at mind-body-abundance-mn.co. Let's hope he plugs that one in there because that's a long one.
As always, we are very thankful that you have come to watch the Connect Show. If you have a topic that you think we should be discussing, please email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com. Like maybe, for example, like how to start your own nonprofit. Because maybe that's what I need to do next.
Plug it in. We love that interaction. So today we're so excited to welcome two guests, Brittany Jones and Julie Miller Davis. Time management, or better known as priority management, and business coaching are a great recipe for improving your business and your life.
The Connect Show is better when it's interactive. If you're watching us live, please add your comments in the chat. We are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook every week at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays. It's easy to find us. Even if you're watching the replay, we will see your comments after. But if you're live, don't be afraid to interact. Jon will bring the comments up and add you to the conversation. Also, don't be afraid to tell us where you're watching us from. It's a great opportunity to get expert advice and help your business grow.
And thanks again to our last week's guests, Andy and Cody from J. Galt and Kat Ramirez, business credit and social media marketing, both really hard to get a handle on, but once you do, you're golden.
Hey, we got Denver, Colorado.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Quote of the day. Oh, this is a good one. Oh man, like seriously. I mean, if it's a priority, you'll find a way. If it isn't, you'll find an excuse. That comes from Jim Rohn.
Excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
We don't like the excuses.
No excuses here.
We've got Janesville in the house.
Janesville.
Hello, Diane.
So talking about that quote for a little bit, that excuses, I think it is something that if it's really important to us, we're going to make that way. And I'm excited for today's conversations as we really get into priorities and looking into that. Question of the day here, we're going to go into questions that would make a business owner stop and think. The question of the day is, how do you figure out your business priorities? So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Who's emailing me the most? Who's calling me? Who's texting me the most?
Yes.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not great at time management, so I'm awful to answer this question. I'm gonna let you guys do it. I'm terrible at it.
For me, it's always, there's always customers and what has to be handled there, and then it's kind of who comes to mind, who needs help, who comes to mind, who do I need to reach out to, follow up with, connect with, and it's almost those spontaneous, oh, I need to connect with this person that was the best connection.
Yeah.
I tend to do the hardest work first.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yes, I do.
Impressive.
And then I get into it, and then sometimes I'll walk away from it. But when I'm doing the hardest work first, the easy stuff just constantly gets pushed off to the side, which is kind of bad.
Right, exactly. And for me, right now, since I don't have any paid clients or customers, like cold calling and just getting my name out there, marketing, that's my next thing I'm doing today. And just making sure that I get clients and talk to people, network, and just find ways to get clients. And for my website Design That Shines company, I need to make sure the internet shines, I mean, seriously.
I'm a big list maker.
Yes.
So I'm always making my list. Sometimes I get multiple lists and then I need to consolidate and go, I need to work from one so I can effectively prioritize and then go from there.
See, that's what I do. I take the notebook, I flip the page, I start another list, but going back to that previous list sometimes it doesn't always happen. And that's where the small projects get put down below. So, not a fan. It's not a fan. I need time management.
I think we all do.
I know. I'm moving on. So, Jon, do we have anything going on in the chat today? I see some things, but I don't know.
There's a lot.
Oh,
Really?
That was not chat.
Is it? No.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Oh.
Yes.
Who put that in there?
Do it, delegate it, dump it.
Oh,
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the dump it.
On to the next. You got to fill the plate, clear the plate, keep
Ireland.
moving forward.
We have Ireland in the house
Ireland.
today.
All right.
We have
Good to
Ireland
hear
in
from
the
you.
house.
Love that.
I want to know
Yes.
what time it is. in
You're right.
Ireland,
That's what I was going to
because it's nowhere near what time it is here.
Probably not.
So amazing. I think we are ready for a quick LinkedIn tip from Heike. Heike, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Heike's LinkedIn Insights. My name is Heike Heyman, and I help entrepreneurs and career changers take their LinkedIn profiles from blah to magnetic. Today's topic is LinkedIn groups. Yes, you can use LinkedIn groups for your business. There are thousands of groups on LinkedIn, and you can find a variety of types of groups. For instance, you can find them sorted by geography. I used to be a member, or still actually a member, of a group that was called the Baltimore Annapolis Professionals, because that's where I used to live. There are groups by industry, let's say healthcare, by profession, for instance, marketing versus sales. They could all be in healthcare as an industry, but if you're looking for profession-specific tips and people to interact with, you might want to go for one of those groups. There are groups based on different kinds of interest. Of course, you can also find groups tied to large employers. They often have alumni groups. So let's say you worked at Coca-Cola, you might find connections at a Coca-Cola alumni group. There are also groups based on the university or college or other kind of school that you went to, if the organization is big enough. So then you have different sizes of groups, anything from a startup that just has a couple dozen to literally groups that have 100,000 plus members. And of course, there are different activity levels. You could have a group that has 2,000 members and one that's just the same size, and one is pretty much dead. And on the other one, you will have messages coming through on a daily basis. So what should you do about groups for your business? Starting your own group, I would suggest not doing, because it is a long-term effort and you can get more for your business out of doing other things on LinkedIn. But I do think you should join groups, at least 3 that are active and that fit something within your business context. Either it's where you find your clients, or it's where you go to learn from experts, or it's just a matter of expanding your network to get closer within that 3 to 6 connections that we're all a part of. And really reach out to strangers, which is often easier if you first interact with their content in a group or on your home page. So in summary, make sure to join at least 3 LinkedIn groups and interact with what others post. Don't just drop your own content and leave. That is not effective. You need to interact with others in the groups to make that worth your time. And remember to connect with me on LinkedIn for more LinkedIn tips. That's it for this part.
And LinkedIn there's so much value there, but we need to just break it down, focus on certain areas and those little nuggets of like, what can I work on this week? It's nice to take Heike's advice from week to week to go, what can I be focusing on this week, and how can that propel my business forward, my networking forward, my outreach forward? So let's welcome our first guest to the show, Julie Miller-Davis. Julie's with us online, but previously teaching for 25 years at high school and college levels. Award-winning coach and trainer Julie Miller-Davis is now a driven entrepreneur, serving others by helping them get real results for their businesses in real time. She works with business owners and leaders to reset their productivity patterns, become more efficient, and bust through roadblocks to reach their goals with new levels of excellence.
Well, I need to talk to her. So even the year of the pandemic, 2020, many of Julie's clients under her watch broke 6 figures, for the first time. Her superpower of out-of-the-box thinking uncovers new ways to solve business stagnation, fun word, resulting in growth and propelling her clients to new heights in profits and productivity.
Welcome to the show, Julie.
Hi, how are you guys?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. It's so good to have you here. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We want to go back to the business, the question, how do you figure out your business priorities?
Well, there's a lot to it. And you guys keep talking about time management. And at JMD Productivity, we don't believe in time management. I just had a webinar last week called The Myth of Time Management, because you said it earlier in the show that it's really about a priority management, goal management, calendar control, that kind of stuff. And that task management is really important. But the prioritization is so important and not easy. So there were some great things that you all highlighted when you were talking earlier through the question. The first one is with regard to doing those big things first. That is the most important thing, and not just calling who's on top of, who like pops into your phone or who pops into your mind, and keeping that list for a block of time that you have for connecting is a really easy way, simple way for those things not to hijack your time. Because what happens a lot of times is if we're letting all these things in that are just popping in our head and getting those done, then we wonder at the end of the day, what happened to our time? Why didn't we ever send that email? How did we not get that thing done that we meant to get done? Because we let all these things hijack us. And when we are letting things in and not prioritizing, we're losing about a third of our day. It takes at least 20 minutes if we leave a task to get back to the task and figure out where we were and what we were doing by the time we deal with the interruption. So how do we figure out the priorities? It's interesting that we had that do it, delegate it, dump it from Linda Marie earlier. That is actually my system. It's called the 3Ds system. So I don't know if Linda Marie's heard me speak before or not, but it was my 3D system is do it, delegate it, dump it. So in deciding the priorities, it's really around the do it's and what are the things that are going to, it's easy for us to say, these are the things I need to do, right? But how do we figure that out? So the first thing that I train with people is please ask yourself, what is going to move the needle today? Or what is going to get me closer to my goal? Whether it's your goal for the day, goal for the week, goal for the year, you need to decide if it is moving you towards your goal. Secondly, this gets you into delegate a little bit because you're going to ask yourself, is this something that I'm the only person that can do it? Am I the only one that can do this thing? If the answer is yes, and you got to get really honest about it, then do that. But if it's not a yes, then who else could help you with that? Who else could do it? That becomes a delegation piece. And then you need to ask yourself, is there a deadline on any of these things on my list? If there's a deadline, then move it into the do it column. My other thing around the do it's is that, and some of you might start sweating when I say this, pick 3 for a day. 3. That's it. Because you have other stuff on your calendar. You have the Connect show, you have maybe some networking, you have a client appointment, you have all the stuff that's already on your calendar. And we're talking about prioritizing things that aren't on the calendar. Choose 3. If it's a super busy day, choose 1. And if you can narrow it down by asking these questions in the do it's and move it into your do it column, you'll start knowing that you accomplished something at the end of the day rather than wondering what you did all day. And when are you going to get to that thing that you didn't get to? So that's the quick and dirty of it.
Yeah. Julie, do you find that people best manage that on paper, with a software, with a, how do you kind of recommend that people keep track of moving those categories? Like, here's my do it list, my delegate it, and keeping those organized.
That's a good question. So people have different systems that work for them. It's your list, the way that you are keeping track of your do-its. I have a planner that, or it's called a daily productivity planner. It's a tear-off sheet or a downloadable PDF that people use that categorizes I call it the big 3, and their brain dump and all of that stuff. But I have a lot of clients who use they use other planners that kind of, it's really, where are you most comfortable? I have a lot of clients that just use their Google to-do list in that way. And I don't know if they can move stuff around into what is their big 3, or if they're just deciding and then putting it into the calendar. Because that's the other piece. Once you decide your big 3, you've got to put it into the calendar, or it's just a hope and a wish that I'll get those things done. So what time are you doing those things? And so you've got to find the tool that works for you. But I really recommend that you have a system around it. So do your brain dump of all the tasks. And honestly, you're going to probably add to it during the day. And then pick your big three. And then when you talked earlier about having all those little things, schedule time on your calendar, like at when you feel like taking a nap at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I think because I was a teacher, I always feel like napping at, the time that school would get out. So like at 3 o'clock, when you don't have any brain power left, do those little checks that don't take any time or brain power, and get those done and off the list. So
I find that if I wait for the important items too late in the day, and not everything gets done first thing in the morning, but some things get done afternoon time, but I have to get it done at that time. Otherwise it's much more difficult to get it done and to fight through. And it's nice to just stay steady, figure out what we got to do, and just keep at it.
absolutely.
So,
Yes, definitely. Especially like certain phone calls you gotta make during business hours, and it kind of stinks. So, and there's a thing called email, but you also want to, make sure you have that voice on the other end. Okay, next question. What are people most surprised about why they work with you? About the way they work with you. Sorry. About yeah. Sorry, that was a word.
That's okay.
I did that. That was my typo. Sorry. Why are they most surprised when they work with you? Sorry.
What surprises them most when they work with me? So it's really interesting. A lot of people come to me because they think they have a time management problem. And a lot of them they're not prioritizing, they're not controlling their calendar, all that kind of stuff. But it really comes down to is that the issue is around what their habits are around time, their habits are around problem solving and really moving forward. And so what they are really surprised with is that they don't know that they're procrastinating, or that I call a yes woman, that they're really letting things, they're not taking control. So they're letting all the things that are coming at them during a day control what is happening in the day. So there's no boundaries being set. And I have a whole concept around active and passive procrastination. And a lot of us who think that we're not procrastinators are passive procrastinators, not active procrastinators. And some of you have a procrastination problem, and that I deal with also. But the biggest surprise is really where they realize that it's not a time management problem. It's that they have not decided how to take control and make things priorities, so that they're actually moving the business forward and not juggling things.
Good one.
you covered some of it, but really just kind of summarizing, what are the habits related to productivity? Like, what are some of the habits that we find in people that are very productive, and how do we set out to have those habits?
Yeah, so those habits related to productivity, I would say one of the number one habits is that you you actually make a plan. And I have a lot of business owners who are not, they're like, oh, I'm not a planner. I didn't get in this to have a plan. I was locked into 9 to 5 for all these years. I don't want to have a schedule. And the biggest thing I can tell you is you need to still have a plan. It can be more fluid than when you worked in a school or worked in a company or wherever you were. But the number one habit to have is a planning habit of some sort. And that goes to what we talked about earlier with the brain dump and the do it, delegate, dump, and all of that is integrated into either your evening or your morning routine. And also this whole habit of problem solving is another, I call it the habit of proactivity I teach. And it's all around, instead of, you guys were talking about excuses and that whole quote from Jim Rohn. And I talk about a lot of entrepreneurs live in Excuseville. It's a really awful town to be in and keeps you stuck. And so it's that habit of complaining and wishing and hoping instead of what are you going to do, instead of that habit of being active and taking action and not just being in motion, but actually being intentional around your actions.
Good question, or good answer for that question, and the quote. Okay, next question. What makes your business stand out, and why do people love what you do?
I think what makes my business stand out, number one, I would talk about my brand standing out, is that people see how my business is built and how I am running it, and that I have all this time to hike, ski, golf, play tennis, do all the things that I love, and not sacrifice my business. And I generally in the summer, I work like 2.5 days a week because I'm out there playing. And so that's one thing that makes my brand stand out. The thing that makes my business stand out is I have really equated productivity to your habits. I have not equated productivity to getting the most things done. I have not equated productivity to working all hours. I have not related productivity to, can we just take one day, 24-hour period off a week? No, it should be a lot more, for lack of a better word, balanced than that, so that you're taking a half day here or a full day there. You're taking your weekends off, that kind of thing. And I think that is a different school of thought than a lot of productivity experts. And that is what people see in what I do, because I am changing you at that foundational, helping you shift at that foundational habit level, rather than just throwing a bunch of tools at you and having you just try these different things.
Yeah, that's great. I like the planning habit. I need to get better at that. And you reminded me of that. So I will definitely, I'm going to start that. I need to do that at night more and plan my day. And then I love the do it, delegate it, and dump it thing. That is fabulous. So thank you for joining us today, Miss Julie. Okay, so do you have an offer or event that you would like to share with our audience today?
I do have a couple of things. First of all, I would really, if you all go to juliemillerdavis.com, you will find my daily productivity planner is right there for free. You can get it, download it as a PDF. It's a fillable, so you don't even have to print it out if you don't want to. If you want to keep it, if you're an electronics person, if you're a paper person, you can print it out as long as you want to. So that's for free. And we have an event coming up at JMD Productivity called the Unstuck Event, where I actually teach you a lot of what we talked about today. And it is virtual and live in Colorado Springs, so you can attend either way that you want. And you can find more information about that at unstuckevent.com. And I would love for you to go ahead and check it out.
I definitely will. That's a great idea. So I'll finish this last part. So we actually, I made the page for you. I'm one of the volunteers that makes the website stuff. So I made this page for you. HTTPS theconnectshow.com/Julie Miller Davis. So you're up there in the right spot this time. You're in the right spot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Julie, thank you so much. I love your passion for what you do, and I think that's what stems. One of the comments below was great to see your smile again, and towards
nice
you.
To see you too.
and it was so neat to see that, because when we do good work and we put our heart behind it, it's neat to see the fans that we build along the way, because they go, you've impacted my life and I want to help you. And that was so that's neat to see that. Thank you for all you do. So
thank you both. Thank you for having me so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks so much.
Bye, Julie.
And then I think we're going to move over to me as the second segment. Jon, am I going to be doing that from here?
Yes, you are. What's that?
Over here?
There you go. Perfect.
Over here.
That camera.
Perfect. So, can't read that. So 11 years ago, I started Think Local with the desire to really support the local businesses and their backstories and to get to know the people. I figured, what differentiates a business and how do we set them apart? It's the people. It's why they do what they do. It's why they work so hard. And those stories, and that's where it's like I did a lot in marketing, and my focus was really we just want to know the backstory, who you are, and then we want to get as many people as we can to support your local business. And we feature local businesses every week on our website, thinklocal.io. If your business would like to be featured, definitely connect with us. We'd love to do an article on you. These are complimentary articles where you can get just more exposure for your business. This last week, we reached out to a couple businesses. We were in Waukesha primarily, but we were at Reaching Treetops Yoga, and it's neat to just see the heart behind it and their desire to really build a sense of community between their members, and that gathering of just when people come together and build meaningful relationships and work hard towards things, great things happen. We talked to the Humane Animal Welfare Society, Hawes of Waukesha, great place, an open admission, no-kill shelter dedicated to strengthening the relationships between animals and humans through adoption and education, making a more compassionate community possible. So I love what they stand for. I love their work and seeing them. And you look at our nonprofit organizations and the backstories of what they do and the people that make them. And it's so much heart, passion that stem behind it. And we want to learn about these things and then get involved. We also found a neat shop. It's called the Potawatomi Scout Shop. So this store is more than just a retail outlet. It's a hub for all things scouting, and fostering a sense of community and camaraderie among scouting enthusiasts in the area. I didn't know that this store existed, and it's fun to go. It's there, that there's, and it talked about the memorabilia on the walls and just the history, and just there's passionate people. If you're into scouting, you need stuff, connect with them. Then we went to Cedarburg. We were at a retail place called Bohemia, and this opened its doors in 2013 when Jenny Kronhert decided to turn her passion for art and design into a reality. And this is the commonplace for most businesses. It's that turning that passion into a business. And when it stems from that, it's so incredible to go, let me see your store. What have you created and put into it? So another location is Forever Faded Barbershop in Waukesha, founded by two passionate barbers, Mark and John, who had a vision of creating a space where traditional barbering techniques are upheld with utmost care. So it's just a great place, and to kind of learn some of these backstories is always great. So, and another thing, when we're building community, it's about local events and fun things that you can do in the community and being out, active, involved in the community. If you have a local event that you'd like to get posted on there, go to thinklocal.io and you can post your local event on there. There's no cost to do that, but it will definitely get some more exposure. This week, we've got a couple things on here. We were in Appleton. We found a fun event called the Family Glow Dance Party. This is coming up on September 7th, Thursday evening from 6 to 7:30. It's a homeschool event, so a homeschool dance party event in Appleton called Let's Glow Crazy. So that's a great local event. Then we had the first free kids family bash. This is in Rockford, Illinois, August 30th, where they've got hot dogs, inflatables, and just a fun event for the kids. School starting event here. And then we had one in Baraboo at the public library in Baraboo. I thought this was a fun event, a Teen Tuesday escape room in the public library where you can get locked in and can you escape within the hour. And that's what community and connections, that's what we want to see. We want to see people involved in their community, getting to know the people in their community and just having a great time. And if you have a dream, a business, an idea that you'd like to move forward, we want to be here to support you with those ideas. So let's see here. We have, am I doing?
This will be me. So,
Yeah.
But that is all right. Thank you so much for all of that great information, Ben. That was wonderful. Oh, yeah. Hi. You know what? It helps if I turn my microphone on. Hello, I'm back. Hello, I'm back. Thank you so much for all of the great information. Appreciate that. We are up with our next guest, Brittany Jones. Brittany is a positive, knowledgeable, supportive master of creation. She works with rock star entrepreneurs or business owners who may be sitting stagnant, wanting change, or just starting out. She supports her clients by providing a safe space to brainstorm and process. She's a sounding board for ideas and aspirations. She helps her clients create a system that supports, motivates, and inspires them to take on the world. She connects them with like-minded individuals to help get them where they are going.
That's great. As a single mom, she prides herself in working from home to create a world of possibilities for her children. She is excited to work with others who share in the aspirations of possibilities for themselves and their families.
I figured we'd give you a little less words because you just talked and talked and talked so much before about all the great events. So you can go ahead with the first question. We'll have you go on the red name.
All right. So, Brittany, welcome to the show. How
Thank
are you today?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Good. Brittany, the first question we have here is, how do you figure your priorities for business?
Well, one thing that I didn't hear anybody say at all today is family. When I prioritize my business, it is what are my family needs? I make sure that that is what's worked in there. As an entrepreneur and as somebody who works from home, we have the ability, and that's probably why most of us don't work in the corporate world anymore. So my business is around my family. It's also currently around my broken knee. So you want to make sure that those family needs are always put into consideration when you're looking at your business. And then, so family needs, obviously, those are requirements, sports, band, I was a band geek. And then doctor appointments, but then family time, making sure that you're not taking away yourself from your family, making sure that you have that time, and self-care. So those are the first three things that I always look at before I look at my schedule for business, period. But then it comes down to clients. What are my current clients? Where do they need to have my time? How can I assist them? Where are my time blocks? And then what do I need to do for my business to engage in social media, to make sure that I'm growing and make sure that I get all the business, the business stuff that we didn't get into business to do, make sure that that's put together, and then I network. So that is kind of how I make sure that my business is prioritized in a way that it can be the best that it can be, and that I can mentally be at work when I need to be.
I love that you brought the family up. That's so important to me. And really, they are the ones that yell the loudest. So they're the ones that yell the loudest, get the most attention. But I love that family first. And I have a band member in my family too. So I get everything that you had to say. Can you explain the fundamental principles of accountability?
Everybody has different systems with accountability. But one thing that is really fundamental is having somebody who you can utilize as a sounding board. If you are holding yourself accountable and you don't have a fallback plan, it really is a struggle. A lot of accountability is getting things done, but if you're so busy holding everything into your head and you can't organize it and you can't vocalize it, you really lose that accountability because you're so overwhelmed, you don't know where to start. So when you have somebody to talk to and to work things out on, that accountability really becomes a possibility for you, and you're able to not have the weight on your shoulders only. So it's really great to find somebody to work with who can help you, whether they're in your business or outside of your business. That was short but
Brittany
sweet.
is amazing. So, way to go, Brittany, for taking such good care of your customers. Because, like I say, I love how we build the fan club here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brittany, how do you establish a culture of accountability in an organization or team?
Yeah, so establishing a culture of accountability really comes into, and I'm going to boast a bit because 5 of the people who have chimed in are all accountability clients. And Ireland is Eileen, and she's amazing. But thank you all for showing up. The culture is really being a part and being able to acknowledge what you have achieved, whether it's what you set out to achieve or not. I brought family into it. Some days you might not reach social media every day because something happened at home and you had to take care of it. Let's acknowledge that you took care of home. Let's acknowledge that you're taking care of what took precedence in the moment and not beat ourselves up for what you did not accomplish. We can take care of that next week. Or maybe it didn't align with you in the first place and it wasn't something you needed to do. Maybe you needed to delegate it, like we talked about, or maybe it's something pertinent in the first place. So, really, just the way that we work on it together, I'm getting nervous, I don't know why, but the way that we work on that together is really just accepting what is done as it's done.
Brittany, I think that's great how sometimes people are so hard on themselves. And what we need to do is we need to go, we're prioritizing for the day. We're giving it our best. We're making decisions as fast as we can in order to make the best decision for the overall picture. Sometimes we, make a decision that we look back and go, I should have chose this. But often we go, I chose family over my jog. And I would do that again because family was my priority. And I'm not going to be mad at myself for not making that. I'm going to go, I did the right thing.
There's a coach that's been on the show, Sarah Deacon, a little shout out to her. She will tell you you should not or do not should on yourself.
Yeah.
Do not should on yourself.
Yeah.
And I love where you kind of went into another tie of something you brought in, self-care, because something that you may not have done, you may have been focusing on yourself also. It may not have even been the family. It may have been, you know what? I needed an hour to shut up and just deal with me right now. So, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So
I've been selfishly going on my run every day, but it makes me a better father. It makes me a better husband. It gives me increased energy for my meetings and all the activities that I have. And it's like, sometimes we need that self-care time to go, I need that. It makes me a better me so I can keep pouring into others.
Absolutely. I love how these always circle right back to the beginning, right?
I just shattered my knee and I'm taking naps throughout the day. So I'm moving client meetings because I can't wake up and it's okay. You
gotta do what you gotta do, right?
I get that completely. Yeah. Self-care is key.
Absolutely. Could you provide an example of a challenging accountability issue that you've encountered and how you effectively addressed it?
I have been in business for a year and a half. I've done what I do for 10 years. Linda is on the call. She's been one of those people who I've always worked with for the past 10 years, but I created my business about a year and a half ago. And I was so bogged down on what I should or need or have to do that I stopped doing it. I stopped doing my social media. I stopped doing even my branding. And I used to build websites for people, and I took a moment and looked at what is it that I enjoy in my business. And I cut out the stuff that I didn't enjoy. And I actually, like we talked about delegation, I traded services. I found an office manager who is amazing, VA Infinity. She's taking all of the stuff off my plate that I don't want to do. And I found a website person to redo my website because I put my ADHD all over my website. So currently the ADHD website is up, but there's a beautiful website that's about to come up. But you have to really look at what is it that I'm in business to do, and what do I enjoy? And for me, I enjoy networking. I enjoy working with my clients because seeing the growth that they have and watching their resilience as they overcome all of the bog down and just really clarify what their goals are, where they want to get there, has been amazing for me. So the biggest thing I had to overcome was I can't do it all. I might work from home, I might be here, and it might be my business, but I don't enjoy things. And so this is how I can delegate.
I think that's a great plug. We talk on the show all the time about partnerships, collaboration, letting people know where you have need and how they can participate and help you. And it's neat how you've established those and go, that makes your business stronger and allows you to focus on the things that you really love to do. So, Brittany, what about, is there a tip that you could give that would help other small business owners?
I think the biggest thing that I've been able to let my clients or anybody really, we do free group accountability. And one of the biggest things that I have seen is really allowing other people in on a vulnerable state. One of our group accountability conversations, a few of the guys mentioned that outside of that group, they don't get to say my business is struggling. They don't have that voice because that looks vulnerable. It looks like you're slacking. But then when they're in the group, it's safe and they can talk about the struggle and how to overcome it. So really find a space where you can be vulnerable about your business and yourself so that you can overcome the things that you're keeping inside.
Amazing advice. You need a sounding board.
Yeah.
You have to have it. And it can't always be family, right? Because if you're constantly dumping all this stuff on your family, they're just sick of your job. They don't want to hear about it anymore. They want to do fun stuff with mom and dad or husband or wife or whatever it might be. You don't always want to have to listen to everyone complain or sound off about their job every single day. It's exhausting.
Find people that will inspire your ideas, that will help you improve your ideas, that will talk honestly to you, but yet not put your ideas down.
And they maybe have the experience to help you through that.
Yeah.
Or maybe have experienced it on their own. So that is amazing. It was absolutely wonderful having you on the show, learning the ins and outs of business coaching, accountability. Thank you so much, Brittany. We have a page on our website, theconnectshow.com/Brittany Jones. Do you have any specials or offers for the audience and an upcoming event that you'd like to share?
I run free group accountability on Mondays for men and women. It's at 11 o'clock Mountain Time. It is on my Facebook group, and then also it's on my booking page, but also newreality.me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We run a women's group, a special women's group, because it's a phenomenal space to be. So I run free group accountability there, but then I also on my website have a living monthly journal. So you can go in and you can actually hold yourself accountable by what you're saying. So that is available through my email list. That way you get that monthly reminder of getting in there and doing what you need to do. And then I also have free consultations. So I look forward to hearing from everybody. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. And thank you everybody who joined. I see you all and I appreciate you all.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It was absolutely wonderful to get to have a nice conversation with you. So
thank you, Brittany. Keep up all that great work.
Right. These ladies pump me up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and it's so fresh in my brain with accountability, but it is powerful to have an accountability partner, especially someone that gets your business.
We need to know where we're going. And then we need to tell others, hey, here's where I'm trying to get. And here's the challenges along the way. It is not easy to accomplish our goals.
No.
It is a uphill climb. It takes work, discipline, accountability to ourselves. And if we don't share that with others, we're not going to, we can't we're going to easily find excuses on why we're not doing it.
And you're kind of just struggling through the process, and you don't have to struggle through the process.
Right.
I believe so much in networking. So I've met great people that you can, kind of ping pong ideas off of just from networking. So if you're at home on your own and you don't know, well, how do I find some of these accountability partners or find some of these tools and structures, not only connect with our guests today, but attend a networking event. It's uncomfortable sometimes. It's super uncomfortable for the first one, but it gets easier. And people love to welcome the new person.
They do.
They really do.
I think that's the best thing. Just get into a networking event, share what you do and why you do it. And you will find that there's so many people that come alongside you that want to help your business grow.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. What about great stuff today? So I think this one's on you.
All right. Well, Julie covered have and maintain a plan with that priority management and that proactivity. I love that proactivity, just looking for stuff to do. Don't spin your wheels, accomplish something.
Yes.
And then Brittany, what I'm hearing from Brittany is just love what you do. Love your work, love helping people, and then put it out there and watch the people that you can go, I'm here to help your business grow. And she was just a great, genuine person. And I love seeing the support come in from her audience.
I love that. I love that. Her audience was great today.
So
with that, Heike, who do we have for next week? Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. We don't have sound from Miss Heike.
Heike, we need some sound.
We need some sound from you. Are you muted?
I guess so.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
All right. So on the Connect show next week, we have Johanna Rolfe and Courtney Rochelle. Johanna Rolfe offers whole body EMS training, the type of full body training that targets about 90% of the entire muscular skeletal system, which saves a lot of time. Personally, I'm intrigued. Sounds like it's going to cut a lot of time out of your workout routine. And Courtney Rochelle is a consultant for event planning, marketing, recruitment, and job readiness. That's quite an interesting mix of skills, and you don't want to miss this episode. So tune in again next week. We're going to be here as always. And with that, thank you everyone for joining us on our show today. Please help our community grow by reaching out and inviting one person who you feel will benefit from being a part of our journey. Please like and subscribe if you're on social. This little act goes a long way in our reach. And if you like something you saw, please comment, even if it's a replay. We will see you soon.
Ooh.